Howdy folks, welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Don, where I react to non-pop country music. I've got a new artist now. I don't know Paul Pace. Daddy Never Had a Chance in Hell. And this is a gift request by David Baumer. So David, thank you for the gift and this request. I look at a title like that and I think, is this like a spiritual song? Because like if you go to like hell, as we understand the notions of heaven and hell, the common notions of heaven and hell, well, you wouldn't really have a good chance in hell of something. But it could also just be a phrase like something, the odds were so stacked against him in a certain situation, which we don't know yet until we hear the song, that Daddy just really, he didn't have a fair shake. I don't know, but Paul Pace is new. We're going to find out what he's about. And yeah, I love titles like this too, because once my brain gets engaged, and some titles do it more than others, I'm like, oh yeah, we got to find out what this is about. So, all right, David, Paul Pace, new artist to the channel. Daddy Never Had a Chance in Hell.
Daddy was a drinking man, never took to preaching, said he'd found heaven in a drink. Mama was a Bible-toting, God-fearing Christian, would tell the devil to his face exactly what she thinks. As far as Daddy knew, Mama couldn't drive, so every Sunday morning he'd give us a ride. He'd wait out in the car, drinking Jim Beam from a sack, and as the summer days grew hotter, he found a pew in the back. Daddy never had a chance in hell, something that my mama knew so well. When everybody else gave up, Mama wore him down with love. Daddy never had a chance in hell.
That's a burden for her. That is a big task when it doesn't come back at you the way you might like, and the way maybe even your circumstances would warrant, when you see their destruction. And maybe he probably has a good heart. You know, if he married her, he's got a good heart. He saw something in her. But then things went in a different direction. And maybe she even thought at the beginning of the relationship that she could win him over with love and get him to change his ways. Because a lot of women do think that. And we change in different ways. But like Brad Paisley saying, I'm still a guy. And but some guys are like, yeah, I mean, you'll make us change. But some guys are like, they don't get over, or they start to get into some really bad habits. And it's nice of him to drive them to church, but then he'd be getting drunk in the church parking lot. This is there's a lot moving. There are a lot of moving parts in this song. It may not seem like it because of the tempo, but lyrically and instrumentally, there are a lot of moving parts.
Summer came and went, but he stayed on the back road and blamed it on the cold north wind outside. Well, I guess that explains the flannel shirt and jacket, but he had no explanation when Mama asked about his tie. He moved up a little closer with every passing year. He said it was because he simply couldn't hear. I never thought we'd ever see him draw a sober breath, much less lead us all in prayer when we laid Mom to rest.
Oh, shit.
Daddy never had a chance in hell.
Oh.
Something that my mama knew so well. When everybody else gave up, Mama wore him down with love. Daddy never had a chance in hell. When everybody else gave up, Mama wore him down with love. Daddy never had a chance in hell.
Wow. Jesus, just shit. I mean, I didn't mean Jesus just did that. I meant separate. But good God. What is it about certain combinations of sounds and voices, in this case just one, that resonate deeper, more deeply, or words? I don't know. Some of that's on me too. Just if I'd heard this when I was younger, it wouldn't have been the right time to hear a song like this. I'm older. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot, experienced a lot. I get it. And so, I mean, it's a timing thing too, as far as why a song like this would move me as it did. Paul's voice, the way he sang it, he didn't oversell it. I don't know how autobiographical this is, if it's a true story or not. It doesn't have to be. It's still a very, very moving story about a woman's struggles, her suffering. I was thinking of two people throughout this song. One was another artist, because Paul reminds me of Mickey LaManta a bit. I'll probably forward this reaction to Mickey just to let him know he's still thought of quite a bit. And Mickey's an artist himself and a good-hearted man and all that. But I was thinking of another person, Rebecca, who is just a sweet, loving, caring human being. And she just, she gives and she loves and all that stuff. And she's sort of like my model of Mother Teresa on earth, though she would demur at that. And but no, it doesn't matter. I have my own thoughts and I keep them. And, when somebody dedicates their life to another human and keeps going, whether it comes back to them or not, the compassionate part of me is like, yeah, I get it. I get being that loyal and honorable and such, but it's hard. You have your private moments where you cry, and because every human being needs love, they need connection, and if you're not getting it, but in this case, it was because he was drinking. But then he stopped drinking and he moved up closer and closer and closer to the front of the pew. But then he led them in prayer, and I was thinking, oh, he became a preacher or a deacon or whatever, an elder in the church. But then it wasn't. Mom died. It's like, oh, geez. But this from the kid's perspective, I never thought we'd see Dad take a sober breath. Never thought we'd see him lead a prayer. And then he did. So it was getting through to him on some level. But the poignant and or sad part of this is Mom never got to see that part of it. She never got to experience it herself. She saw the progress, and I'm sure she enjoyed the heck out of that progress, because every human being has a duty of continual improvement. That's how I see it. And I don't care whether you're a Christian, Jew, Muslim, atheist, any human being on a social level and a personal level can improve, because there are always things about ourselves that we don't like or that we shoot for that's higher, unless you're an extreme narcissist. And I knew and know some, and it's nauseating is the word that comes to mind, but it's something I can't identify with. I see it, I can't understand it from an experiential standpoint, because I have too much compassion for others. That leads me to see things that, in some ways, out of balance from their perspective, or provide excuses for why they behave a certain way, and be way more tolerant, because I'm not extraordinarily judgmental. I don't like mean-spiritedness. That's my one bugaboo. I mean, a switch flips in me when I see mean. I don't take that lying down at all, but otherwise, I, I don't judge. I mean, I've not walked in someone else's shoes. Um, but here, he kind of came around, and then he has to live with his own regrets after mom passes, and he knew he doesn't have a chance to get it back. He doesn't have a chance to step up to the plate. He doesn't have a chance to live up to those ideals that he had in him. He just didn't find a way through to them. And that's where risk and change and come into play. If you embrace change or the idea of change and it's not scary to you, you'll try things just for the sake of trying them. I'll use a golf analogy. If a certain type of swing isn't working for you and you know that there's a better way to hit the ball, but you've never done it that way before during a round, and so it's going to affect your golf score. And I mean, I'm not talking to the pros. I'm talking about as like a weekend duffer or just an occasional golfer. Then go out there and try, and you might hit it. And so what? You have a ball with it anyway. It's fun. You tried something. Give it a whirl. Maybe it'll work out well. You just don't know. So try it in venues or arenas like that or places like that. And then it gets better in relationships to say, you know what? I'm going to try listening. I'm going to try doing those dishes, or I'm going to try something out of the ordinary. I'm going to try, even when I'm tired, to keep going, or when I'm hungry, to not be mean or jackass or hangry. I'm going to just try changing my mind on stuff. If you get yourself in the smaller things and the medium things, the bigger things will come much more readily. So obviously, this song got me going, David, and I love that. I love it. I mean, the philosopher in me comes out. You can see that. The situation coach comes out. The life coach comes out of me in moments like this because I can see behaviors. I feel for the woman, and I now feel for the guy because he's got to live with. That's the expression. You can't explain your way out of something you behaved your way into. You can only behave your way out of it. And the thing that he has to live with in this song is that he's got to live with the fact that the woman that loved him into being a better man never got to enjoy him becoming this version of his better man. And he has to live with that. And hopefully he can make peace with it on a certain level. So much so that he changes in his relationships with others, whether his kids, his friends, or whomever else is in his life. So, I got to rate this one. All right. I gotta rate it. I gotta be true to the number that popped into my head. The number that popped into my head was a 9.4. It moved me, clearly. I'll be thinking about this even after I sign off, which is now. So, all right, guys, you can thank David Baumer for that. Paul, should you see this one, well done, my friend. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.